Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome Pakistan International School Type Virtual Learning System. This lecture is for grade second year boys and girls Pakistan Studies, and today we will start chapter 1, and this is your first lecture. The name of the chapter is Genesis of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. In this chapter, we will discuss the ideology, concept of ideology, Islamic concept of nationhood, the two-nation theory, and also the history of Pakistan. What is ideology? In previous classes, many times you have learned the meaning of ideology. What is ideology? The simple meaning, the word ideology is composed of two Greek words, idea and logos. It literally means the science or study of ideas. The simple meaning of ideology. Ideology of any nation reflects the ideals and aspirations of its people, and religion and cultural shape their thinking which binds them together. For example, here the example we can give the before the creation of Pakistan, which thing the Muslims combined, the Muslims after living hundreds of years together with the Hindus, finally they decided we wanted a separate country. This was their religion. Simply, what is the ideology of Pakistan? If this is the question, what is the ideology? Simple, the one word answer, the Islam is the basis of the ideology of Pakistan. Islam is the ideology of Pakistan. Their thinking which binds them together, and this was the thinking of the Muslims of India, which binds them together, that we are a separate nation from the Hindus. This was the main thing, their religion. Islam is the ideology of Pakistan. Two nation theory, ideology of Pakistan based on the two nation theory, which upholds that Hindus and Muslims are two separate and distinct nations having their own culture, civilization, literature, religion, ways of life. Muslims cannot merge with any other. Now, from your book, the first paragraph is ideology, and also this is the short question, first short question, and very important short question. What is the meaning of ideology? Define ideology. Ideology, it is the set of ideas or norms on which the collective ideals of community, nation, millet are based. It also includes the sum total of principles set forth for the achievement of these common ideals. The Muslims follow Islamic ideology. I told you the Muslims follow Islamic ideology, which simply means the way of life based on the tenets of Islam, which simply means the way of life based on teaching of Quran and Sunnah. Islamic concept of nationhood, also this is very important short question. What is the Islamic concept of nationhood? The Muslim believe that by the virtue of their faith, they have their own identity, separate, distinct from other nations of the world. This feeling of oneness among themselves combined with the consciousness of being separate from other is called two-nation theory. I will explain in detail two-nation theory in the coming paragraph. Two-nation theory means two nations, Hindus and Muslims. They are two separate, distinct nations. Islam is a democratic way of life, and the Muslims strongly believe in the right of self-determination for all human beings. This principle implies that in all parts of the world, not only we are talking about here the ideology, the Islamic ideology only for the Muslims of Pakistan or the people of the Muslims or the Muslims of the subcontinent. No, in any part of the world where the Muslims lives, where the Muslims form a sizable majority, they should be given the right to form an independent, free, democratic state for their own. And living under this state, they should avoid the opportunity to order their individual and collective lives according to their religion, according to Islam, according to Quran and Sunnah. The two nation theory define and explain. Islam was introduced in India shortly after its advent. Muslim in India grew into a sizable community within a short span of time. The Muslim community of India guarded its identity very keenly and cautiously. Definition. Also very important question, define Pakistan ideology. Explain Pakistan ideology. The term Pakistan ideology. What is Pakistan ideology? Ideology of Islam. It based on the Islam. It is the ideology of Islam refers to that set of beliefs and objectives which form the basis of Muslim freedom struggle in Southeast Asia. This struggle was of course motivated by Islamic faith and guided by the objective of establishing a Muslim state in the subcontinent based on the principle that the Muslims and non-Muslims in India were separate and distinct nations, and the Muslim had a desire to order their individual and collective lives according to the tenets of Islam, living as free citizens of an independent democratic state. What is the ideology of Pakistan? The Muslims of India, they wanted a separate state where they can live according to their own religion, according to the teaching of Islam, according to the Quran and Sunnah, living as free citizens of an independent democratic state. The area which now forms the Islamic Republic of Pakistan had a non-Muslim population of about 3 to 5%. Means the area which is now Pakistan, and it was created, you know that in the name of Islam, Pakistan was created, and the Muslims of India, why they demanded? Because they wanted to live according to their religion. It doesn't mean that only the Muslims are living in this country. Non-Muslims people, they are living in this country and they are free according to their religion, and they are free to go to their own worship places. And 3 to 5% non-Muslims living in this area knew that their rights will be better protected as citizen of a Muslim state, because in a Muslim state, non-Muslim state citizens civil and political rights are equal to the rights of Muslim citizens. And also Quaid-e-Azam explained many times that the Pakistan in the newly state, the Muslims and non-Muslims, they will have equal rights. And due to this reason, the Christians, the Hindus, and the other religious communities played a vital role in Pakistan movement. Sacrifices rendered by the non-Muslims during the days of the Pakistan movement and the patriotic spirit with which they served Pakistan after the creation stand as a bright example in our history and the history of nations. Now, components of Pakistan ideology. What were the main components of Pakistan ideology? The first, the main important, what we will say, like the base of this, that is Islam, the religious belief of the Muslims living in the northwestern and northeastern region of the Indian subcontinent was the first and the foremost motivating force behind the demand of Pakistan. The demand for Pakistan, I told you, that is Islam. The base of ideology of Pakistan is Islam. Why the Muslims of India, they demanded after living thousands of years together that we wanted a separate country, and they gave the final solution to the British and the Hindus because of their religion Islam. Quaid-e-Azam Rahmatullah said that the demand for Pakistan was not merely a question of acquiring a piece of land. Quaid-e-Azam cleared it very in a clear words. Quaid-e-Azam cleared it and mentioned that it doesn't mean that we wanted only a piece of land where we wanted to live freely. No, Pakistan was meant to be a laboratory for providing the validity and truth of the Islamic principle. Quaid-e-Azam mentioned and clear we wanted a land or a laboratory for providing where we can live according to Islamic principles, elaborating the guiding principles that foremost the basis of Islamic State of Quaid-e-Azam Rahmatullah said, I fundamentally, in an Islamic state, authority rests with Almighty Allah. The working of an Islamic government is conducted according to the Quranic principles and injunction in an Islamic state. Neither its head nor any parliament or an institution, parliament, organ of government, of individual can act absolutely in any matter. Only the Quranic principles, Quranic injunctions control our behavior in society and its politics. Quaid-e-Azam said that only and only in Islamic state, in the newly state Pakistan, who will have all the authority rests only and only Allah Almighty, and the working of an Islamic government is conducted according to Quranic principles and teachings. And in this Islamic state, its head of the government, head of the state, nor any parliament or any institution, organization, or individual can act absolutely in any matter, but only the Quranic principles control our behavior in this society and in politics. Democracy system of an Islamic state is based on democratic principles. Explaining this, Quaid-e-Azam in a radio message addressed to the people of United States of America, Quaid-e-Azam said that the constitution, what is constitution? The meaning of constitution, the basic law of the country. And no country can run without a constitution even a single day. Constitution, the basic law of the country. Quaid-e-Azam mentioned the constitution of Pakistan, of course, after the creation of Pakistan. The constitution, according to Islamic state, has to be framed. And after the creation of Pakistan, you know that I told you no state or no country can run without constitution. So the Government of India Act 1935, that was after some amendment that was implemented as a constitution of Pakistan, but for the some time after the new constitution. The Constitution of Pakistan is yet to be framed by the Pakistan Constituent Assembly, which has to be made the Constitution of Pakistan. I do not know what the ultimate shape of this constitution is going to be, but I am sure that it will be democratic type, embodying the essential principle of Islam. Today, they are as applicable in actual life as they were 1300 years ago. Islam and its idealism has taught us democracy. Quaid-e-Azam clearly mentioned that the Constitution of Pakistan is yet to be framed. And who will be framed? Pakistan Constituent Assembly. And Quaid-e-Azam said that I don't know what will be the final shape of the Constitution, but one thing that he cleared, that it will be based on democratic principles and have the Islamic and its idealism has taught us democracy. Social justice, equality, and sense of responsibility. You know, these are all the qualities of Islamic society or the Islamic state. Also, Quaid-e-Azam mentioned, explain the fundamental principles of an Islamic state in the following words. Islam has taught equality of man, no one is superior, equality of man, justice, and fair play for everybody. We are the inheritors of those glorious traditions, and we are fully alive to our responsibilities and obligations as framers of the future constitution of Pakistan. Fundamental human rights, basic rights of the citizens. The Hindu leadership of Southeast Asia can be divided into two types of extremists and the moderates. Unfortunately, the Congress was fully overpowered by the extremists at the juncture of history. The British has declared to transfer power to the Indian hands. We will discuss the role of Congress in detail in the coming chapter, in the coming topics. In this state of affairs, the Muslims and the other minority communities in the region started feeling that if the Indian government is entrusted to the extremist Hindu hands, they will deprive the non-Hindus of their most fundamental rights. This feeling served as a strong motive force behind the Muslim demand for Pakistan, and for the same reason, the non-Muslim of this region rendered full support to the Muslim demand for Pakistan. In other words, an important objective underlying the demand for Pakistan was to be safeguard the rights of the people living in these areas. The Muslims and the non-Muslims like the Qaid-e-Azam was a great champion of human rights. Addressing the first session of the Constituent Assembly of Pakistan, the Qaid-e-Azam said, here Qaid-e-Azam talked about the basic rights or the fundamental rights of the people of Pakistan, and Qaid-e-Azam said, you are free to go to your temples. Means Qaid-e-Azam first talked about the rights of the non-Muslims, the basic rights of the non-Muslims. He mentioned you are free, you are go to free your worship places, temples, you are free to go to your mosques or to any other place of worship in this state of Pakistan. He mentioned, he explained the rights, the basic rights of the citizens of Pakistan. Here, he did not mention the only word for the Muslims. He mentioned the word citizens, all the people, all the citizens of Pakistan, they are free to go to your temple, to mosque, or any worship place. You have equal rights, and you may belong to any religion or caste or creed. That has nothing to do with the business of the state. We are starting with this fundamental principle that we are all citizens and equal citizens of one state. Pakistan, the outcome of the sustained Muslim effort, landmark events 1857 to the creation of Pakistan. Here we will discuss the important events from 1857, the War of Independence. We will discuss in detail the coming topics, the War of Independence 1857 to the creation of Pakistan. British ascendancy in the year 1857, 800-year-long Muslim rule over India came to an end. In 1858, India was given under the direct control of the British Crown. Underline, it can be asked in MCQs. In dash, India was given under the direct control of the British Crown. That was 1858. Aligarh movement, here we will discuss in a very short one paragraph Aligarh movement, but in the next topics, we will discuss the complete history and detail of Aligarh movement and role of the Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Aligarh movement, Sir Syed found the solution of the Muslims problem in the British education system and in making friendship with the British rulers. In 1875, very important MCQs. In 1875, he founded the Aligarh School and established many other educational and research institution, and also brought out a magazine, Tehzeebul Ikhlaq. All these points can be asked in MCQs. When Sir Syed founded the Aligarh School in 1875, name of the magazine, Sir Syed published a magazine, that is Tehzeebul Ikhlaq. Urdu Hindi controversy, when it was started in 1867, it was started, Urdu Hindi controversy. Sir Syed ideas anew, and this controversy gave Sir Syed the idea a new direction in Hindu antagonism toward Urdu. He foresaw a parting of the ways between the two communities. Extremist Hindu movement, the anti-Muslim movement, Arya Samaj flourished in the last two decades of the 19th century. The movement aimed at reconverting the Muslims to Hinduism. Bankim Chandra wrote a novel, Anand Math, which provoked Muslim religious sentiments. Anti-Muslim epic Bande Mataram was a part of this novel. Pakistan is the outcome of the sustained Muslim struggle spread over a period of 90 years. In order to understand the real nature of this struggle, we must be aware of the significant events that took place during this period. Means the creation of Pakistan, it was not a result of like after some years or after some, it, it it spread over 90 years. In order to understand the real nature of the struggle, we must aware what kind of events, what significant events that took place during this period. Partition of Bengal in the year 1905. It can be in MCQs when Bengal was partitioned in two parts. That was 1905, and who was the on that time Viceroy of the India, Lord Curzon. He divided Bengal into two parts, East Bengal, West Bengal. This step was taken mainly due to administrative reasons. Since this partition benefited the Muslims, the Hindus and the Indian National Congress opposed it vehemently. Why? Because when the Bengal was one province, it was not divided. All the reforms or all the development programs, they were only and only the areas where the Hindus were in majority in Bengal. Bengal was a very vast province and it was not possible to control this province. So only the reason when it was divided, the administrative reason, and the Muslims were happy, the Muslims were benefited after the partition, but the Hindus, they were totally against this decision. And also Indian National Congress, role of the Congress totally against the Muslims and opposed of this decision. The Muslims started to feel that they should have a political platform of their own to voice their aspiration and take their demands up with the government. The Shimla deputation and demand for separate electorate. Very important short question, and many times this question is in your board exam. So 35 top ranking Muslim leaders called on the Viceroy Lord Minto at Shimla on October 1st, 1906 and presented the Muslim demand before him. Separate electorate, the most significant of the Muslim demand. Viceroy attitude was sympathetic and encouraging. First time the Muslim demanded a separate electorate system for the Muslims, and the Viceroy behavior was good and encouraging. Establishment of the Muslim League. Establishment of a Muslim League, encouraged by the success of the Shimla deputation, the Muslim decided to establish the All India Muslim League. This was a political platform, political party, and established by the Muslim because the role of the Congress in the partition of Bengal. It proved itself a totally Hindu's political party, and then Muslims felt that there should be a separate political platform for the Muslims. So, after the success of Shimla deputation, the Muslim decided to establish the All India Muslim League. The decision was taken at the section of the Mohammedan Educational Conference, where it was held at Dhaka in December 1906. The only purpose of the establishment of the Muslim League was to take up the Muslim demands with the government through constitutional means. Proposals for the solution of the constitutional problem. Constitutional problems of India were of very complex nature. Numerous efforts were made to work out a conciliatory formula which would satisfy the British, the Hindus, and the Muslims at the same time. Given here is a brief overview of proposals made by the different groups in this regard. Constitutional problems, of course, the British, the Hindus, and the Muslims. British, they were ruling on that time in India. The Hindus, the majority party, and the Muslims also they were in majority, but if we compare the Hindus, they were not equal with the Hindus. Many conciliatory formulas were introduced, but the British and Hindu and the Muslims at the same time. Given here, we will discuss the proposals made by the different groups in this regard. The first Minto Morley reforms, Government of India Act 1909. It can be asked in MCQs here. These points are given, these conciliatory efforts are given just yearly here and the name. And then in the next topics we will discuss in detail. Today we will discuss only first 7 points. The Lucknow Pact 1916. Lucknow Pact jointly agrees Congress League constitutional proposals. Number 3, Montague-Chelmsford reforms or the Government of India Act 1935. Number 4, the Delhi Muslim proposals 1927 and other conciliatory efforts made by the Quaid-e-Azam. The Shimla Commission, Simon Commission 1928. Number 6, Nehru Report 1928. Anti-Muslim Congress 10th Nehru Report that was published by Hindu leader Nehru. The All Parties Conference 1928 to 29. And number 8, the Quaid-e-Azam 14 points 1929. Quaid-e-Azam 14 point. This was the answer of the Nehru Report. Nehru Report was published 1928. Quaid-e-Azam rejected this report and answered in 14 points 1929. And minimum Muslim constitutional demand and other efforts by the Quaid-e-Azam to reach a mutually agreed constitutional accord. Number 9, the Round Table Conference. 3 sessions of Round Table Conference were held in London, 1930, 1931 to 1932. An effort made by the British government to hit at a commonly agreed constitutional formula. Number 10, new constitutional arrangement, the Government of India Act 1935. Okay, we will discuss number 11 and 12 also. Number 11, arrival and failure of the Cripps mission 1942. In the different times, the different missions they came to India, sent by the British government for the solution of the Indian problems, and arrival and failure of the Cripps mission. Cripps mission came in India 1942. The Cabinet Mission Plan 1946. A sincere British effort towards the solution of the constitutional problem. It's enough for today, students. Thank you. Have a nice day.